Hey, what's up, everybody? Lawler here. Actually have a voice today, which is pretty crazy. We've been doing a lot, but unfortunately it comes to an end. I'm going to be recapping the fifth and final day of the LAN, second day of the live event, which was absolutely insane. Top four, Space Station G2, Faze, and Queso. Only one hope for EU left, which is actually really important due to the fact of spots that get allocated into the World Championship. The ability to get more spots for North America because we are biased here, obviously, as everybody thinks. Even though I was rooting for Team Queso all day, anybody who wants to disagree with me there wasn't there, and you all suck. Jokes aside, I'm going to be talking about the matches step by step. First up, Space Station and G2 Esports, which was absolutely insane. We talked about it a little bit yesterday about how Space Station was kind of poised to win. They were the home crowd favorites, and it was pretty heavy. But when you go up against G2, a lot of people rooting for JNAPS to win one since the last time in like E-League 2017. 17, 18, I don't know. One of the E-Leagues. I think it was the 2017 one. Yes, it was, because Weedham Girls won the second one. But yeah, first series, pretty straightforward. I think Space Station playstyle-wise comes out very aggressive. I think they understand that what Queso's been doing in that lower bracket is really prevalent with applying pressure. And the difficulty is, I think, they kind of get outclassed mechanically. I think the most difficult part about G2 is now that you have Atomic and he's flowing well and their defense is shored up, they're just tough to score on. And it shows in the series. A lot of one-goal games, and the fact that timeouts are now implemented. You don't even see G2 take one. We get one as Space Station goes down 0-2, and then Laniel, as it has been deemed, the crowd absolutely loving Daniel, even though you can't see him behind the computer, pops off. But all one-goal games until after that timeout, where G2 actually, which was probably the nail in the coffin, having to win and try to get a reverse sweep, which just isn't a thing. It's never happened at a RLCS before, and pretty difficult stuff. But you're talking between game differential and everything else, it is relatively close, and that's going to be it for, I think, the rest of every major. You're expecting coin tosses from series to series, and the other complication is, statistically speaking, and you guys know how much I dislike double elimination, if a team drops from uppers down to lowers, even with a break, the chance of going back against a team that has momentum is very difficult. So my expectation was whoever lost in the upper bracket was going to get eliminated in that lower bracket final no matter what, which we'll talk about in just a bit here. We also got to hang out with our boy Jon Sandman, who is chilling. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just gonna go poop.
Yeah, he's gonna go poop. He's got priorities. Apparently, it's like post-LAN poops are a major thing. Yeah, I guess so.
I might wait then.
Why would you wait?
Just to like build it up more.
Good luck with that, and good luck to my bathroom, I guess. Yeah, John and I have been hanging out, having a good time, and just chilling post-LAN, but he knows how the grind goes, so here we are. Team Queso, Faze, lower bracket. Queso is my second favorite team. I'm a huge fan of Rise. I told you guys day one that he was kind of the one player that I said to look out for, and a big reason why. He is very prevalent to that team being successful, and it shows. And then you pair it with Joyo and Vatira. I found out a lot of cool information about that team just from behind the scenes stuff. They do not do replay analysis. They are very, very much so emphasized on feeling good on the day and keeping vibes in a really good position. And sometimes when you think too heavily about going stuff into a series, that can actually affect how you want to play. So they tried to do free play and a lot of it to get warm and feel good. And I feel like the only reason they can get away with that is because they're all mechanically very gifted. They're also all 15, and this is their first live event, and they continue to crush out. Also credit to Faze. Faze had a really rough group stage, and the group of death, top 6, you're talking V1, Queso, and Faze, all making it really far. So you get another rematch between those two, and this time Queso does really well. They come out and win in, I think, 5, I think it is. Yeah, they 4-1 them as well. So 2 4-1s to start the day, which is actually pretty crazy. And the momentum goes in their favor. It just seems like anytime you look at Queso, the one thing I notice most, and I'm going to have to do a compilation of this at some point, the amount of times that they score a goal in less than 20 seconds left is insane. They're so clutch off a kickoff. It's unbelievable. You even saw it in talking and getting ahead of ourselves in future series. Teams of players that just, you see a kickoff happen, a player goes up a side wall, hits a flip reset pass, and they score. And because the other team only has, so much boost to work with off that initial challenge, you then see the same thing recreated the next goal. So a lot of back and forth between this, but you're talking between all these series, Queso had a pretty heavy hand, and Faze doing a lot better. You're looking at all these rosters that are in this top side, the top 6 at least, are with new teams. You got Jan coming into Furia. You've got V1 with Beast Mode. G2's got Atomic. You've got Sipical on Faze. And then Queso, which has kind of been a bubble team, which would have possibly actually disbanded and all their talent would have went elsewhere, but they chose to stick together. But it's impressive seeing the young teams come through and be as dominant as they have been, because quite honestly, 15-year-olds aren't supposed to be this good. They're not supposed to play that confident. So power to them. Team Queso then continues their run and is probably one of the most exciting matches I got to sit and watch this entire weekend between Space Station and Queso. This one, again, anytime you get into top 6, I would say is a true coin flip, and you saw that. Back and forth every single game, and the difference for us was, and I remember actually talking to Jon about this, or maybe it was someone else, but they needed to flip the narrative. There was a back and forth in the series, and in order for Space Station to stop the momentum that was going to happen, they had to win 2 in a row, which they did. So it's like after that point, I'm like, okay, Space Station's got to advance. They got 2 times to catch us out. There's no way they lose 2 in a row. And then you forget that Team Queso can play and call a timeout. And the importance of what that does for the mental and the team and everything else is so big, and it completely stops it. Queso comes out and bops them 5-2, and then we go to 2-1. And Queso closes it out. So it's super impressive. The biggest thing that surprised me, though, the series didn't have a single OT. Despite how close it was, there was not a single overtime in that series, which is unbelievable. We then have a large break, a bunch of announcements, which we'll do more videos on in the future, and a lot of funny things. Me and Jon actually just rewatched it recently. The retirement with Rizzo video is so funny. More content like that. Psionics, if you ever watch my videos, which I know you guys do, you guys say you do. So this is me making sure it happens. If I don't see Jon in a content video like that soon, shame on you. I would also like to be there, but Jon's actually got like acting background and is funny, so make sure you hang out and ask him stuff. Grand final time though, this I mean quite honestly was just picture perfect. Queso, we got the bracket reset. I know a lot of people are really upset about that last goal in game 7, where it is. We talk about the moments in Rocket League and how it is a domino effect. You've got 2 players on G2 that are pushing up. They win a 50. They've got an immediate challenge afterwards. That's a punishing challenge. But somehow the recovery happens from Queso, and they slot it between 2 and score that open goal. And that's what kills that. There's going to be a lot of moments like that, I think, in the future of Rocket League and anytime moving forward, because these players are so good mechanically, and the evasion of the bumps and the way that certain teams are, instead of air dribbling and going for a shot, they're using their air dribble to go to the backboard and challenging the player sitting on the back wall. When you go for an air dribble, you have to challenge it early, and being on the back wall allows you to conserve some boost and also buy a little time. You don't have to challenge it too early and put yourself out of position. You don't just get flip reset on every time. So now the players that are air dribbling are challenging that opponent to force a 50 challenge to go straight down and still give themselves an advantage. And you're just seeing this slow meta. We'll be doing a full deep dive video on that because I think it's super important. And it's one of the biggest things I noticed between these 2 teams, because players are just getting so good. They immediately rotate backboard after they get that corner boost now because they expect it. So maybe we'll start seeing more ground play in the future and infield passes again. But it's nuts. They basically just take turns doing flip resets and everything. This is where you stop turning on your brain and you turn it off and just become a fan of Rocket League. And that's what you want out of grand finals. Atomic wins MVP, rightfully so. Big proponent of why they're successful. We get the bracket reset. And G2 closes it out. I didn't think it was possible. Finally, we have a bracket reset, and G2 doesn't just win. Or, like, we don't see Queso just run away with it. It's actually back and forth, and the advantage of being in the upper bracket actually pays off. Normally, lower bracket just says, hey, this team's got momentum and it's over, but I think now in Rocket League, and maybe this is me changing my opinion a little bit about double elimination, I still think single elim's better, but these moments are really cool. These moments are really, really cool. So it is awesome to see everything come together. And timeouts being used, close series. But that last series, man, G2 ran. Maybe not the case if they had this in London. Very heavy NA crowd. Very heavy. So still cool to see people clapping and celebrating and stuff. And final words for me, it is absolutely fantastic. You guys, part of the reason my voice is like this is because so many of you came up and said hi and said thank you and took pictures and say like, hey, you watch all my videos. Quite honestly, I'm burnt out. I'm tired. doing all these videos takes a lot. The fact that I'm in my hotel hanging out with John and I'm still pushing this out is hopefully showing you guys the dedication to do it. But I know a lot of you rely on these videos. It is what inspired you to start following Rocket League again. And it's a big motivator for me too. Having you guys explain and say that stuff really gives me that drive to continue to pushing, and hopefully a lot of cool content coming soon. So with that said, greatly appreciate it. Love you all. And the final words, Jon Sandman, what do you got?
Honestly, just if you have never been to a Rocket League event, you should just go. Start saving up now because I know it's expensive, and just try and be at one of these because it's a life-changing experience. Peace out, everyone.
He's got a good point. It's nuts. And there's no excuse now. You guys know when both of them are. We'll talk about that in a future video. Later. Like, subscribe, all that bull. Please bleep that out. This is too candid. See you guys.